So according to fellow bluesman Honey Boy Edwards, in 1938, Robert Johnson was hired to play at a juke joint here in Greenwood, Mississippi, behind the grocery store at Three Forks by a bootlegger for $3 for the night. The twist is that Robert was supposedly having an affair with the bootlegger's wife, being the ladies' man that he was. Yeah, maybe he knew about the affair and decided to set Robert up. No one's sure. But what is known is that Robert loved to drink whiskey. And at that gig, he definitely partook in drinking it for free. Little did he know that the bootlegger had poisoned Robert's drink. Bootlegger or the bartender, not sure. Midway through his second set, Robert started feeling really poorly, to the point where he had to stop playing. And subsequently, for the rest of his days, the Three Forks juke joint was his last show. According to Honey Boy, the grocery store stood at the corner of Highway 82 and 49 East, which is where we are right now. Highway 82's been rerouted since then, and we're standing on the east side of the old highway, looking west, across 49 East. Now, Robert was carried from Three Forks to a neighboring shack, and that's where he suffered from the effects of the poison, writhing and sweating and supposedly howling like a dying dog for days, until he finally died, not far from this poison road. So in 1933, or 34, late 33, little Charlie Patton was thrown in jail, supposedly after a brutal fight somewhere in the streets. I say supposedly because one story says he was involved in the fight, another says that he was witness to the fight, and yet another says he was witness to a murder which had nothing to do with the fight. In any case, he was booked in jail in Belzoni, Mississippi, which is where we are now. W.R. Caraway from Vocalion Records bailed him out and took him to New York City, and that's where Charlie had his final recording sessions. That was January 30th and February 1st in 1934. One of the songs recorded during those sessions was High Sheriff Blues. It was written about his stint in the jail here in Belzoni. Now, I'm sitting where the jail used to be. It's not here anymore. They have the Humphreys County Sheriff's Department here now. But where the car is sitting right now is the jail that Charlie Patton was in for a short while, and where he was inspired to write the High Sheriff Blues. It's unfortunate. The last word that I got was that the building was still here, but now driving down and hitting the spot, it clearly isn't. But here it is, a little piece of history. That part's gone. Let's move on to the next. April 28th, 1934, Charlie Patton died on the Heathman Dedham plantation of a mitral valve disorder. He's buried here in Indianola, Mississippi, and his headstone was paid for in 1990 by legendary musician John Fogerty. Years ago, I visited Jimi Hendrix's grave before the now standing marble gazebo in Renton, Washington, and I laid a rose at his headstone. Today, I'm doing the same for Charlie Patton. Little Zion Church. So, after days and days of pain and suffering, after unknowingly drinking poisoned whiskey at the Three Forks juke joint, Mr. Robert Johnson passed away on August 16th, 1938. Now, just like most of his life, many of the details of the location of his gravesite are unconfirmed. There's talk of a location in Quito, Mississippi being the spot, and others suggest some site in Morgan City, but the most likely and most accepted location is right here in Greenwood beside the Little Zion Missionary Baptist Church, which is where I am right now. Now, you might be thinking, if he indeed sold his soul to the devil, why is he buried in a Baptist churchyard? Well, before doing Robert Johnson research and stuff, I'd thought kind of that same way. But in reality, it only ingrained on me the theory that I mentioned earlier about him just running with the dark side gossip in order to gain publicity, even though that wasn't his heart. Think of the bands and musicians or whatever that paint the satanic imagery, but they aren't truly satanic. For those folks, it's just a gimmick, and I believe the same applies to Robert. Now, the note he wrote just before he died, which you're looking at now on his headstone, helped solidify that theory in my head. And the note says, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of Jerusalem, I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he will call me from the grave." Whether that's a repentant man or a believer, I'm not sure. There's no atheists in foxholes type of thing, but what I take from it is someone who was in touch with the spiritual side. I'm not saying these things to prove a point, nor to be preachy or anything. This is just, like I've said a few times already, a personal pilgrimage and something that I needed to experience for myself. Like I did with Jimi Hendrix and Charlie Patton, I'm laying a rose for Robert Johnson. All right, well, there you have it. The Tour of the Pioneers, in my book, anyway. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope that you get a chance to dip your toes in this musical history at some point. It's very sombering, very sobering, at least personally, extremely rewarding. I've said it before, but this time it's accurate. I'm complete now, very complete. Now it's time to get some bona fide barbecue from Abe's, right here, just across from the Crossroads Monument. If you dug this, please hit the like button. Want to stay updated with all the immersive arts antics and whatnot, and click that subscribe button and notification bell. Till next time, support creatives. See you soon.